at the beginning of the season, it was going to be captains on a game by game basis and kind of like a what have you done for us lately mindset. So there's been a couple mainstays in the game captains, but we've seen some kind of unexpected names too. Asante Doss last week. So just kind of curious right now, like what's the process in selecting those guys?
Yeah, I talk about it with a few of our a few staff members. It's not something where we sit out like in a full staff meeting and go through it, but I've got a couple of people that get some feedback on, and then I ultimately, make the decision here this afternoon of who we're going to go with, and then we let the team know on in our Friday night team meeting. Yeah, and we're just trying to look for people that we feel like are bringing a lot to our team and program. And you mentioned Asante Das. I mean, one of those guys that maybe people haven't seen a ton on Saturdays that, I mean, has a huge impact in this program. He's a phenomenal scout team player. He has become a real leader on this team, vocally, emotionally, challenging guys, pushing our standard, our core values. I mean, this guy's off the charts. I mean, there's no way we would ever play a game that we wouldn't take him to. I mean, he is really, really key to what we're doing. And there's a lot of kind of, maybe on the outside, kind of quote unquote unsung heroes that have a lot bigger impact in this place than maybe what people would believe that only watch the game on Saturdays. And so, yeah, it's been cool to see our team respond when guys like that have earned that opportunity. And I don't ever want to just I don't ever want to be the coach that, well, our captains are only going to be the guys that are playing the most snaps on Saturdays. Like these are organizations. These are like big families. It doesn't always work like that. So I think our team has appreciated that, and it's been cool to see some of our guys like Asante have the opportunity to be out there and represent the team.
Shotgun.
And Lincoln, kind of going back to the weather, when there is weather, do you tell your offensive players to do anything different or give specific reminders to adapt to, if it is sloshy or anything?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to be aware of it. I mean, I think you got to be aware of it from a just ball security standpoint. Obviously, holding on to a football that is wet is different. It's still very doable, but you got to be really good with your ball security. We try to kind of give into the question before. We try to have guys figure out throughout our practices and when we simulate this of are they a player that if it's wet conditions wants to have gloves on or does not want to have gloves on. Some guys obviously prefer to just take them off and just go bare hands. Some guys still prefer and do a better job with gloves on. So we don't want to be making those decisions in moment. And so getting a comfort level kind of for where each guy is from an equipment standpoint. And then yeah, I mean it's obviously got to get pretty bad. And again, I would probably point like the second half of the Notre Dame game was pretty significant to where it really started to affect even what we were calling. It's got to get pretty bad to be that way. I mean, the majority of these offensive guys, again, unless it's just a complete downpour, we feel like we can function very close to normally, even if it's wet.
Ryan.
Coach, and talking to Jaden Mayava all season, like I've noticed he's definitely gotten more comfortable and confident, and even just talking to us, and I think that's spilled over too on the field. I guess just what have you seen kind of from fall camp up till now, how his leadership has grown, and just kind of what we don't see behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think he's just embracing more parts of being starting quarterback for this team, and being the starting quarterback at USC. And it does involve more than just taking snaps and throwing the football. And he's embraced the leadership. He's embraced, like you said, opening up more with his teammates, opening up more with the media, with fans. And I think that's a great thing. Like you have to embrace it, especially at a place like this. And so yeah, he kind of continues to let his personality show more and more, which has been great on all accounts. And yeah, I do believe all those things are connected to the way that he's been playing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shotgun.
After how the Illinois and Notre Dame games played out, the common refrain among national analysts was that you could run directly at the USC defense. What does your front need to do to change that narrative with an Iowa running attack that's similar and wants to do that?
I mean, we need to do what we did to Michigan. We need to do what we did to Northwestern. We need to do what we did to, several of these other teams too. And I mean, I think the big deal is, we've got to we have to do a good job physically at the line of scrimmage. We didn't feel like we did a very good job of that in the Illinois game. And then we have to be very assignment sound of both our gaps up front and then how we fit from the linebacker and the secondary level to not give them any freebies, which, we obviously had too many of those against Notre Dame. And you do those two things, you're going to play pretty good run defense. And so, feel like we've taken some big steps that way, and we get tomorrow's going to be a big challenge, and we plan on being a pretty big challenge for them too.
Awesome. You guys made it quick today. Anybody else? All right. So before we close, it's time for Conquest Command, a question from the front lines of the Trojan Army. Connor, you actually, took our question this week, so we're going to call a little bit of an audible. So our question this week now is from Founders Edits. You can follow him on X at Founders Edits. Coach Riley, in your opinion, what makes USC the place to be?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think like I've said forever and ever, I just think it's just this place is there's 100 something of these jobs out there and there's not one like this one. I just think it is a special place. It's really unique. You combine the history, you combine the academics here, you combine the location that we're in. I think being the flagship football program here on the West Coast, I mean, I just think there's so much to this place. And so it's been a fun challenge to be here. It's fun to see the momentum that this place is gathering right now, and to even take a minute to sit back and even imagine of where this thing can go is pretty fun. So it's cool to be in the moment with it right now, and glad I'm here.